Hey, howdy. How are you doing? Today we're going to talk about how to overcome. If you're anything like me, there are times that you deal with failure, you deal with setbacks, and yes, you even deal with frustration. So I wanted to share 5 tips that I take to overcome those things. The first is to don't overreact. The second is to detach. The third is to check your ego. The fourth is to ask for help. And the fifth is to take extreme ownership. So let's dive into each of those steps a little bit further. So first, let's talk about don't overreact. The first step is don't overreact. Now let's start with an example. Let's say that you're working on, or maybe even supervising, a significant project at work. This project may have been in the works for the last few quarters, the last year. Whatever it is, it's a significant amount of time and effort being placed into this project. In order for you to move on, this project needs to be completed. Let's also assume that you just found out that the project is going to be significantly delayed, or it's going to come in significantly over budget. Maybe both. Our first inclination is to maybe get frustrated, to get angry, and to voice those feelings with others. But instead, keep level-headed. Try not to get agitated, and keep your emotions in check until you're able to get the full picture of what's happening behind the scenes. We need to look at the situation logically to analyze what's happening and to make good decisions. And we're not able to logically look at a situation and to analyze everything that's happening when our emotions are getting the best of us. So don't overreact. That's step 1. Here, let's talk about step 2. The second step is to detach. And let's explain what detachment is a little bit. It's common that when we're engaged in a project or a decision or something that we have interest in, that we get extremely attached to that situation. And when we get too attached, something can creep in called tunnel vision. And that's something where we almost get laser focused on one little item. And when that happens, our peripheral vision, if you will, or the sides of what we can see out our sides, deteriorates. Sometimes it's even lost when you get so laser focused. And when this happens, we're unable to see other options that may be out there. So we need to detach ourselves so that we can see other options that are available to us. Let's take a look at an example. If, for example, we say that my main objective is to get through this gate, I may notice the latchet that could potentially open the gate. If I become too attached, I may focus solely on this option and getting through the gate. Rather, I should take a step back, detach myself, and look for other solutions, rather than getting focused on the latchet. If I took a look around for other solutions, I might identify another opportunity right there on the rectangle. If you look a little bit closer, there's a secret door. I'm now able to move forward in accomplishing my mission and getting through the gate. I would not have been able to do this if I remained attached to the situation. I was only able to see the solution by taking a step back. Alright, so we've now evaluated to see if we're detached. We have an understanding of what detachment is. We now are able to move on to step number 3. The third step is checking our ego. And this one can be a challenge. It's hard to really look inside and ask if the reason why I'm frustrated or upset is because of myself and my ego. Ask yourself, is there a chance that my self-image is threatened because of X or Y or Z? Was my self-image threatened because my idea wasn't voted on the most in our team meeting? Being able to check your ego and to look for truly the best idea or the best solution to a problem is the best form of high self-confidence in yourself than anything else. Not only does it allow you to come to the best solution, but it allows you to earn respect amongst your peers, your leaders, and others within the organization or within your family. It's not a sign of weakness. So, check your ego. And that's step number 3. Let's talk about step number 4. Step number 4 is asking for help. If your setback, your failure, or your frustration is the result of you not knowing how to do something, ask for help. Let's talk about maybe a few examples of this. Let's say that you work in a random department in your company, and whatever you do, your job is contingent on the sales department going out and making sales presentations. The sales are not where you might expect them to be, and hey, you're frustrated. So, but you also don't understand really what the sales department does. So, in this situation, ask to go out on a sales presentation with them. See how your product is being presented in these meetings. See what questions are being asked of your sales department. Maybe there's a gap in their understanding of your product, or maybe there's a gap in their ability to present that to the consumer in a way that makes them want to buy it. But now you understand that, you're able to move on. Or let's say you work in a manufacturing plant. The widgets that are exiting the facility are not up to your par. You want to know why or where the holdup may be. Well, rather than demanding answers or that, we need X amount of widgets to leave the facility in the next week, do some investigative work, do some footwork. Get out there and see what's actually going on. Learn what each of those jobs is and how they do it in order to give you an idea of where that holdup may be. It'll also give you a great perspective into what their work is like, and maybe allow you an opportunity to improve the process in order to meet your own expectations. So we've now asked for help, and we need to move on to step number 5. Step number 5 is taking extreme ownership in all things. When someone takes ownership of problems, problems get solved. When something's going wrong, don't make excuses. Don't blame another person, and don't blame another thing. Take ownership of that problem, and then go take ownership of the solution to get that problem solved. You need to ask yourself a few questions. What am I going to do to ensure that this problem, this setback, or this failure doesn't happen again? And also, what am I going to do to ensure that whatever happened to allow this frustration or this setback or this failure, what can I do to ensure that that doesn't happen again, or to get things back on track? What can I do to own the situation, to fix it, and to try and prevent it from happening again? Extreme ownership is a hard thing to fully grasp and implement moving forward, but with time, it is something that not only works, but is a key tool in helping organizations and your life move forward. So we've completed 5 steps. We're not going to overreact. We're going to make sure that we detach from the situation. We're going to check our ego. We're going to ask for help if we need it. And then we're going to take extreme ownership of the situation and the solution moving forward. When you do that, your setbacks, your failures, and your frustrations will get better, you'll get back on track, and you'll be able to move forward. I appreciate the opportunity to chat with you today. Good luck. Let me know how it goes. Talk to you next time.